So in this video, we're going to talk about the file input and file output. So in computer files, there are two types of storage device. We have the volatile storage and non-volatile storage. Now, when we talk about the volatile storage, it is temporary. All files, okay, all values that are stored in this storage, when the computer loses its power, it is also gone. Okay. Now, kapag shutdown kayo ng inyong laptop or unit, lahat ng nakastore na information or data sa volatile storage will be gone as well. Okay. Now that is volatile storage. For example, we have the RAM, random access memory, that is used when Java program stores a value in a variable. Now that is an example of a volatile storage. Another one is the cache storage. So cache files are stored in the cache storage, while we have the non-volatile storage, which is a permanent storage, wherein you save the file in your hard disk drives or any disk drive, and it will not be deleted even if you shut down your computer or any unit or your laptop. Now, files are collection of data stored in a non-volatile device. So, lahat ng files na sinave ninyo, drive A, B, C, D, and so on, these are what we call computer files. There are two categories in computer file. Okay, so we have the text file and we also have the binary file. Now, text files consist of data that can be read in a text editor. Let's say yung HTML file natin. So, files that are in HTML are text file. Okay, so data in the text file is encoded using a scheme, and most common schemes are the ASCII code or the Unicode. So we have the program files and the application files for that one. Now we also have the binary files so that the data are not encoded as text, such as image, music, and that class extension file. Permanent files are commonly stored in the main directory or root directory. Java files are commonly stored in the main directory or root directory sa ating Java na folder. Now, to organize the stored files, folders and directories are used. So more like you can get its location. Now, users may also create folders within folders like subfolders. A complete list of this drive plus the hierarchy of directories which is located where the file is located, yung location niya is what we call path. Now, again, yung location ng file ninyo, yung directory niya that starts from the drive C to the folder names, subfolder names, and the name of your file is what we call path. Now we have here an example. That means we have here the example, the text file that is stored in a folder, chapter 8, stored in a folder na Java and is stored in the drive C memory. Now in Windows OS, we have used the path delimiter, which is the backward slash. This path delimiter na ginagamit natin sa operating system ng Windows is a special character used to separate path components. So ito po siya. So we have drive C, we have backward slash, which is the path delimiter, and we have another path delimiter over here. That means Java is separated from another path, which is the subfolder chapter 8. As path files it creates an objects that contain information about the files and directories such as yung sizes, yung properties niya, ones ng ating file, creation dates, modified use, and so on and so forth. So whether the file or directory exists. So yun yung path class. Now we also have the files class. Files classes can performs operations on files and the directory, such as determining kung anong attributes nung ating file. We can also create input and output streams, that is saving the file and then getting the info from the file. Now later on, we will talk about it using the buffered reader and buffered writer. And lastly, we can also delete the file within the file using the file class methods. Now, to use both the file path and files classes, you are needed to import the following package. You're going to see java nio.file dot asterisk. That means all classes under the nio.file package. Now, to create a path, you're going to again use the word path, which is the name of the class, path class, and this will be your file path, which is the name of your file path. Okay, so this is a variable. Dito natin store yung ating object from the path.get. So get method to get yung ating file path, which is we have C, that Java, chapter 8, and so on and so forth. Now, we also have what we call the absolute path. Now, absolute path is a complete, okay, complete path niya. It does not require any information to locate the file on your system. It's just that you get the complete path. Now, ano yung complete path? Now, so, complete path contains kung anong subfolder siya naka-store yung file ninyo and ano yung main folder and kung anong drive siya naka-save. Now, relative depends on the other path information. Let's say, for example, relative siya since kabaliktaran siya na absolute, hindi siya kompleto. Now, let's say, for example, we have sample.txt. So, if you can see, hindi nakikita kung anong subfolder niya, kung anong main folder siya nakasave, or so on and so forth. Now, we also have another relative folder. We have sample.txt, which is nakasave siya sa chapter 8 na subfolder. Pero hindi ninyo makikita kung anong drive siya nakasave and kung ano yung main folder niya. Another example ng relative split siya kasi dito we have the main folder, Java folder, and we have the chapter 8 folder, but we cannot see kung ano yung file niya. Okay, so that is relative path. Si absolute, again, complete path siya. It contains yung ating drive disk, kung saan nakasave yung ating folder, main folder, subfolders. If marami tayong subfolder, 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 and then the name of your file. Now, here are the methods under our path class. So we have the toString method, which is we have path.toString, path.getFileName, get name count, and we have get name. Now, see, toString is a string data type. That means it returns string representation of the path, eliminating the double backlashes. So, dito, i-remove niya lang itong dalawang backslash na ito. And we have here a path get file name. Again, it will only return the file or directory denoted by this path get file name, as this is the last item in the sequence of the name element. So if it is this one, we have sample.txt, ito lang rin yung kanyang i-return. Again, last item in the sequence of name elements. Here, path.getName, which is integer, yung ating parameter. So it only return one parameter. So it returns the name in the position of the path specified by the integer parameter. Let's say, for example, get name, let's say number 2. Later on, we will see how can we use the get element na integer. And we also have integer get name count kung ilan yung number ng element sa path. We have here, we created a file path na object. Okay, this is our variable, which is equal to path.get. So we get itong file path natin or yung location ng sample.txt. And we have here integer count. Count, that means we have to get name count. Get name count, again, return the name of elements, number of name elements in the path. Okay, now we have, meron tayong tatlong output, display output for path is and there are. And one last thing, we are going to display the elements of our file. Now, in this example, meron tayong file path is, we have Java chapter 8 sample.txt. If you have observed, na-remove yung ating double backslash. So, isang backslash na lang siya. And we have here, since we use toString, no, kaya na-remove na yung double backslash. Now, we have file name is, we have file path. Again, ito yung file path na nanggaling dito sa taas yung variable natin to get the file name, which is yung file name natin, again, yung last part of the path. Okay? Last item sa sequence of name elements. So, sequence of name elements, ang pinaka-last part niya is sample.txt. Kaya sa output natin dito, file name is sample.txt. And we have here, there are, and we have used count, which is yung integer that get name count. Kung ilan yung name sa ating path. Now, ilang names, ilang elements natin, we have 3 elements. So that means we have Java, example, that means drive C is not included as an element. Now, first element is element 0, which is yung Java, the main folder. Element is the folder and file name niya. Now, let's try to use the to absolute path. To absolute path method is used again to make the path absolute. Now, let's say we have here, we have string file name, which is scanner S. We have used the scanner for us to input yung file name natin. Now, enter your file name. We have file name that S next line. This is yung user input natin kasi meron tang S that next line. And we have the input path is equals to path that get, again, get method para kunin natin yung file path natin or yung location ng file. Let's say this one here. Ito. Ayan. But this time, ang laman ng ating argument sa get method is yung ating file name, which is a user input. Now, yung user input natin, yung path niya will be, mapupunta siya kay input path na method, which is we have used dot to absolute path. That means we convert kung ano yung path get location ng file name natin, it will be converted into to absolute. Yung na-convert na path will be stored in the full path. Therefore, ang i-display natin is yung content ni full paths. That is why meron tayong the full path is full path dot to string. Okay? Now, we have here as an output, nag-enter tayo ng note.txt, which is yung file ninyo. Yung file path niya is si java node.txt. Pero dito na part sa get, dapat double backslash pa siya. Now, since we use to absolute path, that means we get the whole path ni node.txt, which is nakastored sa Java na file, and then we converted it to string to remove yung double backslash. We can also use the check access method para ma-check kung nag-i-exist ba yung program and if ma-access ba siya pag kailangan natin, if accessible. We have different arguments for the check access. Now, arguments are found inside the open and close parentheses. The arguments none, read, write, and execute. So none, whether the file exists. Okay, it just checks kung nag-exist ba yung file. Now, if you use the read argument, whether the program has the permission to read the file, and then we have the write. If it has permission to write the file, that means you can update the content of the file, and we have the execute file. Execute whether it only check if yung file ba natin can be executed, it also exists. Now, we also have delete method. Delete method is a method under the file class. Sa file class, we can delete yung ating file. It accepts a path parameter and removes the last element of the file path in the directory in a path or throws an exception if the deletion is unsuccessful. Say, for example, exceptions ng ating file class, when we use delete method, there is no such file exception. We have directory not empty exception, we have security exception, and we have IO exception. So no such file again if the file does not exist. Directory not empty, that means there is an attempt to delete the directory that has files. Okay, so you cannot delete a folder or a directory that has file. Okay, and we have security exception if attempt to delete the file without a permission. And lastly, we have IO kapag meron tayong error and output niya. Now, we also have delete if exist method. Okay, so this is to remove file without encountering an exception if the file does not exist. So, regardless kung may exception siya or wala, i-remove niya yung file na yon. Okay, and we have retrieve useful information about the file. We have read attributes method of the file class. Okay, this method takes two arguments. So again, read method ang arguments, again, yung nasa loob ng ating open and close parentheses. So, ang attributes, ang arguments natin under read attributes are a path object. Okay, again, the arguments, we have the path object and the basic attribute class. Now, the read attribute method returns an instance of the basic file attribute class. Let's say, for example, we have basic file attributes, file at, okay, or file at, which is file at is our variable. Okay, this represents our file attributes. Files that read attributes. So if you have observed, we have read attributes na method, and inside that we have the file path na path object. Okay, yung gagawin natin. Let's say, for example, dito path object, full path. So dito naman sa taas, we have the file path. File path is equals to path.get. So dito, ito yung ating object. Kaya pwede natin siyang ilagay as attribute. We have file path and we have comma basic file attributes dot class. So dalawa yung kanyang arguments. Sa basic file attributes, we have the following methods. We have size method, creation time, last modified, and compare to. So there is smallest useful piece of data. It can be any letter, number, or other special symbol such as punctuation mark. So in short, character. Okay, yung ating data type na character, it's just one piece of data. And field or group of characters has some meaning or combination of letters, numbers, or words. Okay, so it forms a word or a name of a file and so on and so forth. So we have here the following fields. We have ID 3122, so on, and we have Reyes, Ranica, and 21. Now that is a field. Records collection of fields. The Reyes contains the following fields: ID, name, last name, and age. Okay, yun si record. Now we have here file consists of related records. Now we have here file which is the Reyes, that is the student file. Student file stream, it is the flow ng data. Does it come from a file? Does it come from a keyboard? And so on. So if the data is taken from a source and is delivered to a program, okay, that is what we call an input stream. So input stream, again, let's say nag-type tayo, okay, and then na-deliver siya sa ating program, that is an input stream. Or let's say Control S, that is already an input stream, that is to save the file. Now, if the data is delivered from a program to a destination, let's say nag-click kayo, such as file or the screen, nag-click kayo ng file and then nag-pop up yung content ng file, let's say image, okay, that is what we call output stream. Buffer is a memory location to data and you can read it again later. Again, si buffer is memory location lang siya. So, sa memory location, pwede tayo mag-save ng data, mag-write ng data, we can read the data later on. Input and output classes are the following. Classes lang siya ha. So, input stream class, file input stream class, buffered input stream class, and so on and so forth. Now, let us try to identify how to use them. Now, let's try to talk about the output stream class kasi we have provided here the methods under the output stream class. So let's talk about the output stream class. Output stream class, abstract class that contains method for performing an output. So later on, we will use the output stream so that we can see how does the method to perform an output work. We have here the methods. We have void close, void flush, void write. So write, meron tayong arguments na byte, open, and close bracket. B, we have void write, byte, and so on and so forth. Close output stream, flushes the output stream, writes bytes to the output stream, and writes byte to the output stream. But okay, from specified byte array at offset position. So meron siyang it starts with the offset. We have the characters or length ng characters. Now we have your file class, new output stream, method. So again, si file class, meron tayong new output stream na method. It is used to create a writable path, a writable file. So that means we can write in the file. Another method under the file class, which is new input stream, okay, used to open a file for reading, and this method accepts a path parameter and returns a stream that can read bytes from a file. Buffered reader object is declared to read a line of text from characters input stream, buffering characters so reading is more efficient. Reading is more like retrieving data from yung file natin. Now we have here the buffered reader method. We have the close, we have the read method, and then read line, and we also have the skip. Okay. Now we also have sequential data files. So buffered writer na siya. So buffered reader, it reads from the file more like retrieving the file. Now when you try to log in using your account in on any social media, let's say username and password, now yung na-input ninyo, it will check dun sa text file. Let's say text file or let's say database. Now, let's say text file ang gagamitin natin kasi gagamit tayo ng buffered reader to read yung file. Buffered writer, that means we're going to write a text to our output stream. Output stream again, it opens yung ating line, ating file, the output stream, to create a writable file. That means we can add data, store data doon sa ating file. So buffering the characters. Let's take a look at this for an example. Now we have created an object, file path. Okay. Now file path is our object which contains the following path. We have C, drive, Java folder, chapter folder, and the file. Now file.delete, we have the delete method. That means we deleted yung ating file. Nasa loob siya ni try catch kasi possible na may problem sa pag-delete ng file na example.txt. Okay? Or i-delete niya lahat ng directory na ito. So file or directory is deleted if allowed delete ng directory. Now, if no file exception, kapag hindi existing sa example.txt, then no such file or directory. Or directory is not empty exception, that means may laman siya na hindi pwedeng i-delete. And we have security exception. Well, you have no permission to delete the following files. And we also have IO exception pag may problem tayo sa with input and output. Now, in this example naman, we have again the same file path and we have basic file attributes. Okay, file at or file at read attributes, we have the following file path. Again, si file path is ito yung ating object and basic attribute that class. Now, we have used the size method under the file attribute, and we have file at the creation time, last modified time. Right, in this part of output stream sample, we have here string S, which is Ranika, yung name ng string, or yung ito yung string natin, and we have byte data s.get bytes. Get bytes to get the byte size of Ranika. Okay. And the size bytes ng Ranica will be stored in the data. So we have the byte in an array kasi nga may byte size yung ating Ranica. Now, output stream output is equals to null. And we have try output is equals to system.out. That means we are going to provide, store a value dun sa ating output stream na yung bytes. We are going to write the Ranica. We are going to flash Ranica and close Ranica. Okay? Here, an output as Ranica kasi meron tayong system.out and nag-write na rin tayo. Meron tayong changes. No? So, wala tayong changes when it comes to this one. So, byte data and output stream is still the same. Output is equal to null. And we have output is equal to new buffered output stream. That is, we created a file. Okay, file, comma, create. This is our argument. So we are going to write the data doon sa file. Ang magiging output natin, yung Ranica is mas store doon sa ating text file.